spring festival travel rush is underway. Jonathan Kao joins me now from Shanghai. He's the Managing Director for Greater China at BCD Travel, a corporate travel company. Thanks so much for your time, Jonathan. Now, the spring festival travel rush is expected to peak this weekend. Given that COVID has been with us for a while now, what kind of numbers are you expecting compared with the previous years?
Yes, thank you, Sally. So I think it's certainly a challenge that we've getting small number of cases in some of the larger cities like Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangzhou, where there is huge traffic traditionally. But for the first 8 days of the spring travel rush, we already see 206 million trips being made. That's about 46% higher than as compared to last year, but we're still down 57% compared to the year before. So today and tomorrow we're expecting the peaks. So even though these are work days here in China, but a lot of the companies, they're closing early for their employees to travel back home, or some of the staff, they're taking their annual leave to go home early to be with their families and for the celebration. So we're expecting the numbers to probably double the daily average from the previous few days. So I think we're seeing most of the growth coming from the air and rail, and the airlines are adding more and more flights and trains to handle the extra capacity.
Before we get on to COVID measures, that's some remarkable numbers you're talking about there, a 46% increase. What does that mean for China's travel sector and, of course, the economy, given that it's been such a tough couple of years?
That's right. So I think it is definitely a boost to the sector. However, I think while it is beneficial for the larger transportation segment, for tourism, I think it's not as much help, because most of these trips are visit friends and relatives going back home. So it doesn't have as much revenue generation than the traditional leisure trips.
And then in terms of COVID, what measures have been taken to protect such big crowds from moving around in this way, especially if contact tracing is particularly difficult with people moving amongst one another and perhaps don't really know each other? So how are you going to manage that situation?
Yeah, certainly. So I think continually health code, the itinerary code, some of the places require QR tests, which are some of the standards. The government is also using big data to isolate and locate any travelers if they come into close contact with confirmed cases. And I think ultimately, I think most important is to have the population, most of the population vaccinated, and also for people getting the third shots, booster shots. So that has been underway across the country as well.
And has the composition of the crowd or the way people travel changed? Are they moving in different ways? For example, are there more people in rural areas?
Yes, definitely. So I think while the majority of the travelers are still going home, visiting relatives, we're seeing changes in the composition, definitely. So there are more travelers taking advantage of the extended holidays to go on vacation. So Hainan province has been a very popular destination, not only for Sanya, but also for some of the other cities there, like Haikou and Boao. And so we're seeing that. On the other side of the spectrum, we're seeing a lot of people going to the colder north, to Harbin, making ski trips there. So certainly the Winter Olympics is an inspiration for the country, and I see that all the outdoor winter sports are becoming very popular here. So I think certainly people are taking advantage of that. And also on the other side, we're seeing families traveling not too far outside of the city, but going into some of the rural areas for staycation. So it's trying to stay close while having some fun.
Jonathan, thanks very much for your time. Jonathan Kao there from BCD Travel.
Thank you.